Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just dig right into it. According to Michael Benson from Talksport.com, he basically states that the WBC will send out their official order for Gennady Golovkin versus Jermall Charlo with a negotiating period and a purse bid date. After Charlo's fight this weekend, according to Mauricio Suleiman, if the bout happens, the winner will be Canelo's WBC mandatory. That is breaking news. That is great news, but this is also news that we were well aware of, that they wanted to order a Triple G versus Jermall Charlo fight, and that the winner of that fight would be mandatory for Saul Canelo Alvarez. Then that would be very interesting. I would personally love to see this fight next. It'll tell us a lot about each fighter. It'll tell us how Triple G rebounds and looks against a young, hungry fighter, and it'll also give us a little perspective on Jermall Charlo and who he is. Since we know Triple G is probably the hardest puncher at 160 pounds next to Saul Canelo Alvarez, those two guys are probably the strongest guys at the division weight, and Danny Jacobs, I'll give him that as well. But if you look at Jermall Charlo, he's pretty much an unknown. He looks very powerful. He seems to be powerful, but in his first and only step-up fight, Jermall Charlo fought in Austin Trout, in his prime Austin Trout, past his prime Austin Trout. And Austin Trout has always been a C, at the very best B-level fighter. But I'll still say about a C because he hasn't had any real victories other than Miguel Cotto. And I'll put it like this. Austin Trout, he made it difficult for Jermall Charlo to be able to cut off the ring. But like they say, styles make fights. So you have a lot of fanboys out here basically stating that Jermall Charlo is the baddest man on the planet. He's the toughest guy with 160 pounds, and he can beat anyone. So it'll be interesting how he faces off with the Triple G. Does he stand in the pocket and go blow for blow with Gennady Golovkin, or does he step back and move and try to outbox him? Jermall Charlo has never displayed an elite level boxing ability. He's never even displayed a high level boxing ability because he's never had a high level boxing opponent. When he fought Austin Trout, he got hit square multiple times on his chin. He's not an elite level fighter. He's an unproven fighter, but he appears to be a very good prospect, a very good fighter. But he hasn't faced elite level competition. And being around 28 years old, you would have expected for him to have a step-up fight already. And it appears that Triple G is the first one ordered. That fight getting made may have a lot to do with what promotional company Triple G signs with. More of what network. Does he sign with DAZN, ESPN, Top Rank? Does he sign with, PBC, Fox, Showtime? Where does Triple G go? And the thing is, the fight can be made on any platform, but, PBC has displayed a tendency of not wanting their fighters to get in with other fighters, such as Deontay Wilder avoiding Anthony Joshua, and that being okayed by the PBC. Such as Errol Spence and his famous quote, "He's on the other side of the street," in an attempt to avoid Terrence Crawford. So you see that there's a consistent trend. So you have to be very careful when you talk about PBC fighters. We don't fanboy for any fighters. We don't fanboy for networks or promotional companies. We're 100% unbiased, and we tell it like it is. And we believe that a breakdown of Gennady Golovkin based on resumes, based on skill sets, and based on what's proven about each fighter, a fight with Jermall Charlo and Triple G based on the information we have available, based on the opponents and the level of difficulty. Triple G is an elite level fighter. Whether you believe he's the best, first, second, or third best at middleweight, he's one of the best at middleweight. And Jermall Charlo is a 28-year-old unproven fighter who should be proven, who should have had a step-up fight by now, and who's been somewhat coddled and protected. Now, in this fight, I'll have to pick Triple G by stoppage. I believe he stops Jermall Charlo in the mid to late rounds. I believe Jermall Charlo will try to box and move because he's unsure of how strong Triple G really is. He's going to try to utilize his jab a lot, him being the slightly bigger man in this fight. But I believe Triple G ultimately is just going to be too strong, too powerful if they make this fight, and he will eventually stop Jermall Charlo. I just believe that Triple G is one of the strongest, if not the strongest fighter at 160 pounds in natural power. I believe Jermall Charlo, just like any other untested fighter at this point in his career, there's a reason why they've been untested at this point, because they have not been looking to step up against this type of competition. And it's not about a payday, it's about the risk of losing at that point. You have to understand that Deontay Wilder was, I believe, around his 33rd fight before he stepped up and attempted to win a world title. You have to understand that these guys have been protected to a certain degree, and there's a reason for that, because they don't want to let their O go. These guys really don't want to fight the best. Now it appears that Jermall Charlo is looking to fight the best, and hopefully they can make the Triple G fight. But I do believe, based on what we've seen in the ring, that Gennady Golovkin stops Jermall Charlo. And if Jermall Charlo doesn't have a solid chin, he may even stop him early. Once again, it's the IBFP, Unbiased. As always, please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.